All right, welcome everybody. This is Email with Corey and co-host.
Hey, what's up, Corey?
Hey.
Email time.
Email time. That's right. So, look, man, the more content we have up on the site, the better the better it is for us. So, you know, Carlisle and I do our thing with the movie stuff, reading the countdown and
all that
news,
fun stuff. Yeah,
all that good stuff, and then. That show goes on a little bit long, and
right. I know.
So yeah, but no, it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Our show's going like about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's epic. Dark Knight, 4 hours. Yes,
but I figured a good way to split it up is to let Carlisle do what his specialty is, which is talking a lot of shit about movies, and then you and I have fun reading email,
doing whatever the hell we do.
Whatever we do, yeah.
I don't know what our specialty is.
Nothing.
I don't claim to have one. Yeah,
I don't. I have special needs, but I don't have no specialties. I don't know what our specialty is except sitting down and kind of bullshit. I mean, we kind of get along well with the members here.
Well, we're just shooting the shit, hanging out. That's about it. And
exactly.
I guess I've been coined the silly one. Whatever that means. Okay.
All right, people. Let me tell you what our show is about. As I said, this is the show where we go in and we talk about the things that, Carlisle doesn't like to talk about. I mean, and then we go in and read email because I think you and I just had the best time reading email.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. It's email, and usually it's a lot more interesting than what's going on out there in the entertainment world.
Exactly. And plus, I just like reading. I want to read more. Yeah. What people are sending in.
We'll do it.
Because I really appreciate all the emails that we get. And when Carlisle and I are doing a show, we do email at the end.
Right.
So we usually don't have time to cover as many emails as I would like. So this is a whole show pretty much dedicated to emails and probably a topic or two that we find kind of funny.
I figure we'll just do whatever we need to do.
Exactly.
As long as we're entertaining the people, which is the important thing here.
That is priority number one.
Priority number one, sir.
Thank you.
Entertain and make somebody out there laugh and crap their pants.
Or piss them off in your case sometimes.
Piss them off? Oh, God.
Look, man, okay. Now, before we get into some email.
Yes.
There's, what I'm gonna try and do here, we don't really have a format figured out yet.
No.
So I'm thinking maybe we'll read some email and then cut in the middle of it to break it up and maybe talk about a story or two.
I would say let's have this show evolve, Corey. Let's evolve with this show. Let's just see what the hell happens, all right?
Let's grow.
Let's just grow together.
Let's motivate.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard somebody tell you that? I had somebody send me an email saying, "Let's motivate," and I was like, "Motivate?"
What?
I was like, "Motivate? What?
Somebody told you that?
Look at me, that kind of fucking."
I would have punched him in the nuts if somebody would have told me that. Yeah, what kind of craziness?
Motivate.
Motivate?
That's like a boy band. Motivate.
Motivate your ass out the door right now. Take your motivation, get out of my room.
Get the fuck on out of here with that shit. All right, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah, screw it. We'll see
now,
what
before
happens.
we start, I guess we are starting now. Okay, I want to talk about something that pissed me off.
Corey, I know you're looking at me like, oh shit, what did I do? What did I do?
It's what you started.
Oh, what I started? Me?
In fact,
what I start?
In fact, I'm going to be defending you.
Oh, you are?
Of course, for a change.
Corey, I don't need defending. I'm a robot.
Look, you got lasers or something?
I got lasers coming out of my ass. I got lasers coming out of my eyes. Lasers all over the place, man.
I'm glad you ain't using
see me at the techno, the damn techno dance hall down the street.
Oh, at the gay club, the ball on the ceiling. Hey, can you give me laser surgery in my eyes?
I can do it, man.
Okay.
I can give you lasers, but I don't know if it'll work, but we can give it a shot. Don't sue me. I'm not responsible. Don't be throwing no malpractice at me, Corey.
Like looking like Ray Charles after I'm done with you. But look, now while Carlisle was gone,
right?
You came in. I requested that. I said, "Hey, I need somebody."
You asked, and well, actually, we talked about this before. You can listen to the show.
Yeah.
When I did the first one where Carlisle was gone.
Yeah.
Where I heard the show before. And it felt kind of like a downer show, obviously. I mean, you seem pretty worn out, and I felt, hey, let's do something cool for the fans, and let's do one last show, and that one last show turned into 2 shows, and then it turned into 3, and we're just like, hey, do we really want this thing to go away? No, but I mean, hey, I was more than happy to fill in and just have a good time with it. I wasn't looking to make friends or anything. I know a lot of people don't really care for me on that show, and I'm not bothered by that. I understand. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with you, Corey. Let's have a good time. Let's do our thing and get the fuck out of there. All right?
Well,
and get on with our lives.
Well, see, here's
you can.
Yeah, you stuck here, just sitting there. You can continue to sit there.
I'll just read my comic books. And leave people alone.
Look at your porn.
Yes.
But my problem with the whole deal is that, now look, I anticipated this. Whenever there's an abrupt change that happens, people freak. No matter what it is, if you don't tell them what's about to happen, they're like, "What did you do? I was so used to it being this way."
Right.
But my problem with that is that you came in.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these people were saying, "Oh, co-host, great co-host is here. We love co-host. I really enjoy
Savior co-host to the rescue.
Co-host is
King
my favorite."
co-host.
And then Carlisle came back, and I was happy about that. No problem. I mean, a lot of people thought it was burnt out. A lot of people don't understand that there was just problems that were being done internally, and we worked them out.
Yeah.
And Carlisle came back, and everything is great. At least for now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But everything, last week we did a show, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, there were some people who came in, and they were vocal about it. Like, hey, I'm glad Carlisle's back. Co-host, he was cool, but it wasn't the same with Carlisle. Some people came in and said, I liked it better with co-host. And then some people came in and just said, I'm glad co-host is gone. I don't like that guy, and I don't want to see him ever again or hear him ever again.
He sucks.
Yeah, this is one situation where, now you know who you are. There were a couple of people who were fair weather friends, man. Sitting up here like, I'm so glad co-host is here. And then when Carlisle came back, like, co-host, I'm glad he's gone.
Get him out of here.
But Carlisle's back, and it's like, it was the same people. Now, you know who you are. I ain't gonna name any names, but that made me mad.
Wow, I wasn't paying attention too much. I mean, I didn't even get to listen to the show this week. I've been pretty crazy busy, but I listened to it a little bit, and I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. It was great. And then, of course, you can't help but read the comments, and it was kind of fun reading the comments and going, Carlisle was cool, but co-host, he sucks, and thank God he's back. Thank God Carlisle's back, and I was like, whatever. Like I said, I didn't give a shit, honestly, because I was there just to help out, and I was not there to take over the show. I was not there to do anything but just to be me and help you out, have a good time with you, hanging out with you, and then that's it. And that's all I needed.
Look, I had some of the best time doing that. I will rarely ever get on this site and tell people what not to say. I won't get mad at people. I won't come in and play favorites with people and whatnot, but God damn it, don't mess with my fucking robot over here, all right? I mean, if I come on and do this show with a fucking dog that just says woof to everything I say, God, you deal with it.
You tell him, Corey.
But fuck, I mean,
tell him.
This is one of the rare occasions where I get to really express myself. If I bring in a fucking robot and want to do it that way, you goddamn deal with it.
Oh,
fucking make me mad. I mean, I don't know, man.
See, Corey, I'm sorry, Corey, but I understand, and thank you for sticking up for me. It's very rare. Now I have this on audio to always remember this. So maybe I'll let you live during the robot war. But
that's why I did it, so you spare my life.
Exactly.
I'll be the one that you kill anyway. But I defended you.
I'm sorry, Co. I was about to say I'm sorry, Co. No, I'm sorry, Corey. But
I'll tell you what.
I'll just do my thing. I ain't changing for nobody. Sorry, Corey, but that's all I can do. That's all I know. All I know is how to be me. And if you don't like me, you go to hell. Because don't worry, eventually you will be swimming in the blood of your children. So don't come crying to me when that happens.
Thought you didn't
you're
care.
begging for mercy, because I've never heard of the word. Mercy does not compute, Corey. It does not compute. Sorry.
I like the way you started as, hey man, I'm just being me. I don't care. And it ends with, you will be swimming in the blood of your children. Die, humans, die. Die, motherfucker, die. Nah, man, I will rarely exercise authority on this site. I will never play rank. I will never, but goddamn, as long as I'm running shit around here, this motherfucker's going to be around.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, and as long as Corey keeps thinking he's running things around here, that's okay with me. As long as I'm on his good side,
there are people who
I'll let him think that.
I'm sure there are people who put money. The people who put money in this are looking at me like, "Shut up." but on this end, here in Austin, Texas, ATX.
Oh, that's right.
God damn it,
ATX.
The ATX. That's what the rappers say.
That's right.
I'm down in the ATX.
Don't say that, Corey. You're gonna scare people out there. ATX. Oh shit, is that a new game?
Wait, hold on. Let me put my gold teeth in. Down here in the ATX. No. Okay, so enough silliness there. Now we got that out the way.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into the
Let's make this show fucking badass, Corey. Let's do this.
Let's get into the meat of the show here, which is your emails out there.
Yes.
All right. Our first email.
Yes, Corey.
For this show comes from Blank Man.
Blank Man. Shooting blanks. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know if you want that name, man.
Sympathize with that guy.
It's a bad movie. Doesn't say a lot of good things about you personally. But Blank Man has a question here, and he's like, hey, I'm brand new to Spill, and I love listening to all the reviews and podcasts. He's one of those people who, he says, I'm one of those people who used to make the work days go by faster by listening to your podcast.
You should be working.
When your ass should be working, sitting up there and get fired doing this shit. But he says, anyway, I was just going to ask you, when it comes to movie trilogies, which do you think are done well and maintain consistent quality throughout all three movies? Don't laugh. But would you include the Mighty Ducks trilogy?
Mighty Ducks? What? They made a 2 and 3?
Yeah, they did.
With Emilio?
I don't think the last one had Emilio. I didn't really look into it.
Well,
but he said
that wouldn't be consistent now, would it?
He said he just watched it, though. You know what? Look it up over there. You got the computer.
What, with Emilio? Right.
Yeah, you know. But look, let me tell you something about the Mighty Ducks. When we think of trilogies, we think usually of epic movies. I mean, because that's where I look at it. I look at some of your smaller movies, which they just made sequels because, well, they just could continue to make them because they would make money. But then you have some movies that they had really broad, huge stories that they want to tell. Mm-hmm. I mean, the most obvious ones are Star Wars. And then you have some you have some that started out with a story to tell that did well, and you have some that started out with a story to tell and I thought were kind of bullshit.
I can name it. I can name the one you're talking about.
Oh, the one that's bullshit?
Yeah.
Which one?
Matrix.
Exactly. They said that they had all those three movies start out, and I don't buy it. As a matter of fact, there was a woman who won a lawsuit by saying that they stole her story, and she won.
Oh, really?
Now, I don't have the details over it because you can go out and look this up, but there's a black woman who said that the Matrix was stole from a story of mine. Mm-hmm. Granted, they went to court and they said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So the way I look at it is like the Wachowski brothers took that first story and said, yeah, we're going to make some other movies, but they didn't really know because they didn't write that first one really.
Right. Oh, no.
And then when those other two movies came out, it was pretty obvious that this wasn't as well thought out as
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, after the first one, I was like, okay, well, now the guy's Superman, so where are you going to go after this? And then the first one, and after the second one starts, it's like Neo's back to being stupid again. He has no idea, why is he the chosen one? What the hell he's doing? He's all confused and lost again. I'm like, what?
Let me ask you something. What? If you were Neo at the end of the Matrix,
the first one,
the first one at the end of the Matrix, the first one,
he has everything figured out at the end.
I mean,
he's calling people at the end and telling people about it.
Yeah, he's on the phone. Look, I know everything. Yeah, I'm badass. Bye.
I am the one. Watch me fly.
Woo! But now, if I was Neo, I would say, I'm not stopping this world. I'm Superman.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly around in this virtual world and get all the money, food, ass, women.
Whooping some ass like crazy.
A real superhero. Mm-hmm. Now, would you want to give that up to go live in what is so-called the real world, eating slop and living in a potato sack?
And dancing to techno every night? Screw that! In a damn cave?
Yeah, in a fucking sewer, wearing potato sack clothes and shit. I mean, no. So I look at that and I'm thinking, no, because I could see where they could have gone so many places with this story, and they didn't. And that last story, the third one went out with such a whimper, man.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it ended with a woman sitting on a park bench, thinking about something.
Exactly, and I was like, well, so did the humans win or did the robots win? What are they going to live with each other? Who's gonna fix all that? Who's gonna go and clean up that mess outside? So who's gonna go clean up that?
Yeah, no, but listen, there are some movies that I don't consider to be trilogies in the sense of that we're thinking about them as big grand stories. I mean, if you look at it that way, then we could say, well, Rush Hour was a trilogy.
Right.
There were 3 movies. It is not truly a trilogy.
Not at all.
Lord of the Rings is a trilogy. Star Wars is a trilogy. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Matrix is bullshit, but even that, for intents and purposes, is a trilogy. Right. Mighty Ducks, no, it's just okay. We can make another movie. Yeah. Oh, let's make another one.
Yeah. And Emilio apparently was in the last movie too.
Okay, so that's what you call a franchise, not necessarily a trilogy in the
sense of the word.
In the sense of the word, yeah. Now, there are some movies that have gone on past 3 movies that I think are doing it better. and well, at least one. And I will say, and look, I'm expecting a lot of people to disagree with me. Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. I mean,
best that to date right now for consistency. That is the best series of movies that we have out there.
You know what? To be honest, it took me a while really to get into this whole Harry phenomenon. But I just rented the very last film.
Yeah,
and that is by far. I mean, I guess when I saw it in the theater, it really didn't hit me how really well done and well crafted it was, especially with the characters. I was like, for once, I really gave a shit about all those characters in that film.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's making me looking forward to this new one. I just rewatched it, and there were a lot of things like I was kind of picking apart and just studying the characters, and I was really impressed with just how. And apparently, I hear that the director who directed the last film is, I guess, supposedly supposed to direct the last.
Yeah,
he's supposed to direct them all the following.
Yeah, that was just said now because everybody was thinking Guillermo del Toro was going to direct the last, and it was going to make it like the last movie, a 2-part series, like not 2-part series, but 2-part film.
That's what they were talking about. Yeah.
But Guillermo del Toro is about to do the Hobbit.
Yeah,
he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they were talking about for people who remember Heavy Metal. Now you and I are big fans of Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal is the animated film that came out in the early 80s. One of the first adult animated films to come out and to be theatrically released into a little bit of success. They're talking about doing a new one.
Yeah, under the guidance of David Fincher.
Well, David, I thought what's it, Eastman, Kevin Eastman, or
he's also he's also involved. Yeah, he's producing it. But I think David Fincher is the one.
That's the anchor name that he got. Where everybody else said, "I want to get it," and they were saying Guillermo del Toro is going to come in and do it too. Look, Guillermo del Toro is doing some shit right now. He ain't doing shit.
I mean, he was even being quoted as eventually he will do another Hellboy movie, but that's going to be
gonna be years.
It's going to be in the year 2020. I don't think anybody's going to give a shit.
Ain't nobody going to give a fuck about Hellboy by then.
I mean, I didn't care about the fucking last Hellboy movie. I'm sorry. After Dark Knight came, that was like a dingleberry compared to
on the ass of movies,
on the ass of the summer. I'm sorry,
but I would tell you that. Harry Potter, that last movie you're talking about and what they're doing, that last director, and I can't remember his name, but he's a competent director. He's been proven to do well with this. And I know it's not necessarily a trilogy, but if you want to talk about, I mean, come on, we're going into how many movies now? 7?
I believe so.
Yeah,
it could which could turn into 8. So.
Well, yeah, 8, 9.
It's David Yates, by the way.
Okay, yeah, David Yates has been proven to be a competent director with this series, even though the third one is my favorite. And I mean, we got I'm just going to say at least 7 movies right now that have been well done. And
despite what you can say about the story, I know they pull apart a lot of the story, but as far as consistency, I mean, I don't think that out of the whole series there's never been one where I'm just like, okay, that was just a shitty film.
Well, I go into them not having read the books.
Yeah, same here.
So when I see the movies, I'm like, okay, that's cool.
There's magic.
Yeah, exactly. I love Harry, but I get the movies for what they are, and so I don't have this whole baggage or weight of coming in and saying, well, that's not like the book. In fact, I talked to some kid who was reading all the books. He's like, well, I didn't really like it because they didn't do it this way. And I was like, look, man, motherfucker, I don't. And I said that to this little kid, motherfucker, I don't give a shit. Harry Potter's a badass dude to me. I don't give a fuck because of Quidditch.
That dude could fly around on a broom. What the hell? Yeah. What the hell can you do with a broom? Besides go clean up that mess. Go kill the cockroaches back there.
Besides sweep shit, yeah. What the hell? So I didn't walk in with all this, knowing the whole universe from the books,
right? And I was the same way. I mean, the third one, honestly, you're right. The third one is one of my favorites. And I thought that movie, I was like, okay, they're finally getting these characters right, at least for me, where I care. And the one that followed, I didn't care too much about, but this last one, like I said, it really, honestly, I think it's better than the third one, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be. Yeah, no, that last one was good. That third one is still.
It's still good. It's still a great movie. I mean, it showed you the potential of what they can do with that series. Really, I mean, as far as giving it a darker tone, which eventually, apparently, these books start taking. A lot of people. Eventually, they start going that darker road. So
a lot of people are going to even get upset at me about this, but I think that they're even better than something like the Lord of the Rings. I mean, Lord of the Rings Rings had a strong fan base of people who really wanted to see this.
Right.
And Peter Jackson did great justice to it. Great movies.
Yeah,
great movies.
They're fantastic. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
But we had 3 of them. Now with Harry Potter, I mean, and if we're going to answer the question directly of trilogies, okay, yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, that
hands
is
down right now.
That is the number one trilogy of all time.
But if we want to talk about movies that have consistently gotten better as a series, listen, there's a good comparison to be made here between something like Harry Potter and Star Wars. Star Wars started out as an adventure film, sort of for all ages, but still very mature. It's digressed into children's shit. I mean, even the third, even Return of the Jedi, that was borderline kids film right there.
It was.
Salacious Crumb, that little thing sitting there with Jabba. That was a puppet.
I love that. Jabba. I'm sorry, I love that guy.
Crumb.
I love that guy. Especially every time he was looking over at Princess Leia, he's like.
It was a fucking puppet though, man. It was a rubber
I was just waiting for him to jump on her head and just start humping away.
But if you look at it, those movies have degressed. They've become, They've become children's films.
No, they're fucking cartoons.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not even good cartoons.
Even though Clone Wars on Cartoon Network wasn't that bad?
Yeah, it's Clone. I mean,
I'm not talking about the new one.
No, not the new bullshit.
No, the
Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars. The guy who directed Samurai Jack.
What's his name? Genndy Tartakovsky?
Yeah, good enough. Yeah,
GT.
That's what let's call him that. Yeah,
crazy ass name, but yeah, no, that honestly, it was really sad to see how those cartoons, those little mini cartoons, just like triumphed over the last 2 movies. Anything that those prequels did. I mean, watching those cartoons made me feel like I was back in the Star Wars universe. Unlike the prequels, which just made me feel like. Man, what is this bullshit, and why do I just want to rip it from my memory right now?
Yeah, because what they did was they became a property where they said this is for children now. This is a commercial to sell toys and video games.
And that's what pisses me off because I don't think their intentions were to make those movies for children. It just happened to be that way. And of course, the movie comes out and George Lucas is just like, well, all these people, all these adults don't like the movie. The critics hate it. Well, it's not for you. It's for kids. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, fuck. and see, the problem with that is that we start out with strong material, and then it just degressed into something that we just don't even recognize anymore.
It turned into bullshit. They made Darth Vader a fucking pussy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, now that you know, I mean, even though we knew that Star Wars, that Darth Vader, even though we knew that he was the father of Luke Skywalker, so he had to be some white dude who was probably kind of milk toast looking, but he had a badass armor.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what he looked like. So even though we knew he was like some probably like some middle-aged white guy.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, we thought he was a big, black, crazy-looking black dude with that voice.
Insane-looking crazy guy with a cool-ass scar down his face.
Exactly.
They gave him, but they only...
we thought that Luke Skywalker's father was black.
Exactly.
And he was not only black, but he was like scary black. Like he was big, like some cage fighter.
Exactly.
You do what I tell you to do. You'd be like, shit, okay, I'll whoop your ass, motherfucker. Okay, sure, whatever you want. I mean, and so now we know that he looks like Hayden Christensen. I mean, it was like Darth Vader is not the same
and
guy.
And it was really heartbreaking was in the new trilogies, the ones that came out on DVD when they re-released them and they re-edited some of the footage. At the very end of Return of the Jedi, now they have Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, I know.
Show up as a ghost.
I won't even look at that.
Fuck?
I won't even watch that.
What happened?
Don't even show me that shit.
I know. And the other thing that pissed me off about this recent re-release is they changed Boba Fett's voice to the new guy,
to the Australian,
to the Australian guy.
Fuck,
they went in and they re-edited, they redid the audio. And I tell you what, I want to throw that fucking DVD out the fucking window, and hopefully, I was just hoping that George Lucas would walk by so it can land right smack in the middle of his goddamn brain and kill him right there on sight.
You know what? Somebody needs to tase George Lucas and his nuts and tie him up. Don't let him back on Luke on Skywalker Ranch.
Carbonite freeze that motherfucker right now, please.
I still want him to do things because I have crazy respect for him as an innovator.
I want him to keep spouting out his ideas.
Yeah.
Fucking tell him to George, write your ideas on a piece of notebook paper right now. All right, give me that. And then hand it to a writer.
Okay, yeah. No, get out.
Give this to Peter Jackson. Go do your thing.
But it's my idea. No, get out.
Shut up. Stand out. All right, old man. Quiet. You're old. Nobody cares
Call
about you. No, get out of here.
He's still screaming. He's drunk. Take him. But it's my idea.
Look, you're going to get all the toy money. All right, just shut up. Move along.
Yeah, the guy comes up to the cab driver. Here's the $100, man.
Go write Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Go write
take this motherfucker home right here, please. Yeah, he lives down somewhere. Drop him out by the creek. Don't let him back up here, though. But so my point is, by saying that Star Wars has sort of regressed, is that if you look at Harry Potter has matured. Harry Potter has aged. They started out sort of as children's films, and now they're PG-13 movies to deal with the dark tones that were written in the novel. And
they're following the tones of the novel.
Exactly. And I think that is, man, that is such... It's an underappreciated idea that nobody has really given these movies credit for, that we have seen these movies actually mature with the actors and the characters. And if they keep those same characters throughout the whole series, and if all of them keep the same quality, hands down, for me, best series of movies that we've had out there.
There you go, Corey.
That's me.
Yeah, that's Corey's opinion.
That's me,
right.
goddammit.
I mean, I just got into it just recently with watching that last one, and I'm really dying to look. I'm dying to see the next one.
Don't mess with my robot too. That's all I got to say. That's my other thing.
Yeah, you leave me alone. Yeah, people, or I'll kill your ass. I'll kill you.
You'll die in the blood of your children. All right, so we got another email here from the ultimate Canadian movie guru. We've heard from that guy before.
Yeah, we've heard from him. Yeah,
and I'm gonna read this in conjunction with another email from Aaron. It's funny, both these guys. Did you guys get together and write emails? Let me read Canadian Guru's email first. He says,
"Read it."
With all the talk of Lethal Weapon 5, Rambo 5, and 6, that's gonna be Rambo 6. The fuck?
6?
In Indiana Jones 5. What do you think about reviving all these great franchises that are all of a sudden making themselves a series of their own? And he means like new franchises with the older actors. What's your input on the situation? He says, me personally, I think it was cool, but now I'm starting to get annoyed with this. All of a sudden, we're starting a revival of franchises to follow a trend. I agree with you there.
Right.
But since I've liked all the revival movies that have come out, I will honestly give all these other movies a chance. Now, what Aaron says here, he says, with the recent successes of Batman, Die Hard, and Indiana Jones reboots, as well as Rambo and Rocky, the recent news of a fifth Lethal Weapon in the works, what other franchises would you like to see get a brand new film? And he says, he makes a good point here. Personally, I would like to see Dirty Harry and Jack Ryan get another shot. Dirty Harry, I don't know, because Clint Eastwood he's looking up there. I mean, he still looks like he could whoop somebody's ass.
He does, and you know what? I wouldn't mind just one last go. I mean, because honestly, this is hard because I watched Unforgiven, and Unforgiven was almost like his last movie as far as those spaghetti westerns he was in. It was almost like he carried on that character.
It was an answer to his myth.
And I know he did that film as like
his mythology
to Sergio Leone, which I love those films. If you haven't seen those movies, please go out and look for
Fistful of Dollars. Of course, everybody knows all of his Man with No Name movies.
Yeah, the Good, Bad, the Ugly.
He was a guy in those movies who had no name, but he was a badass cowboy.
Yes, he was, and those are just great westerns. I mean, still to this day, they're great westerns. I mean, it's funny trying to see. I mean, I think 3:10 to Yuma almost caught the feel of just the dirtiness and the raw energy of those westerns that Sergio did.
Exactly.
But yeah, do yourself a favor. I mean, if you're in film school, you will be shown those films regardless. But yeah, as far as a Dirty Harry film, I mean, it would be cool if Clint Eastwood like took it seriously and wrote it seriously as like the last Dirty Harry film. I'd go see it. Shit.
But as a standalone film,
as a standalone film, yes. Now, I'm not a fan of these series. Well, the proposed series, like I loved Rambo so goddamn much. I was like, this is the ultimate perfect bookend to that Rambo.
And now
series.
they want to make more.
And obviously, they are making more. I mean, they're scouting locations right now, and I'm like, well, the last thing we saw. Well, I don't know if I should spoil it, but it was no big deal. Rambo looks for his daddy. I mean,
come on, Rambo is like 70 years some old himself.
Yeah.
He gonna find his gravestone?
I know
what
exactly.
Is Rambo looking for?
Is it going to turn into like? Is it going to turn into Death Wish all of a sudden? What's going to go on there? I don't want to see. I don't want to see Rambo running around with a machine gun in the city. I don't know what they're going to do with that movie.
Look, and that's a problem right now. We got movies that once they come back and we show this character doing one last great act. I mean, Dirty Harry, it would be good to see somebody say, this cop is old and can't do shit, and he comes back and just cleans up the town.
Exactly.
Just badass old
just
cop, just beat the shit out of
Unforgiven. I mean, yeah, try to do an Unforgiven type film with Dirty Harry. Shit.
Yeah, is his answer to his cop mythology. He did one for the Western for his cowboy mythology. Now he does this for his cop mythology, and that would be a great film. But to continue it, no. And Rambo was that. Rambo was kind of an over the top answer to everything that Rambo did. It's like, I'm going to bring in all the worst elements and make them right, which is going over the top. But I'm also going to make this character as badass as he was in First Blood.
Exactly. And the funny thing is when you go and revisit Rambo, I'd expect that guy to be alone out in the middle of goddamn nowhere in the jungle.
Yeah.
Just like hunting, gathering fish and just doing his thing alone.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I'm in hell right now and I don't mind being here. So
I've made this hell myself.
Exactly.
I'm here. This is the place where this is for me. This is my home.
Exactly.
This is where I can exist. And in the middle of this chaos. But no, man, I'm very scared about what they're doing with Rambo. Listen, and as far as Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon, those movies.
That last movie sucked.
That last movie was horrible.
Yeah, it was beyond horrible.
Yeah, that last movie was ridiculously bad. I've never seen anything as bad. Look, they really ruined that.
I still can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe Richard Donner actually did that.
In fact, the movie went through. This is what got me, and I'm gonna fuck the movie up for you because it doesn't matter.
No,
look, they go through the whole movie doing all this killing, maiming, cussing, and action, and then at the end of it, they end with the photograph saying, "Hey, everybody," and they got all the people from the previous movies.
Yeah.
Hey, we're family. It's like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I know. I was like, are you making a home video or something? It's like, was this supposed to be released in the theater?
Jet Li was wasted in that movie,
his first American film, might I add.
Yeah, and just wasted.
He was completely wasted.
Yeah, he couldn't talk English, so he just had to be quiet.
They kept his fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, and that was probably the best thing they did in that movie.
Sometimes they should just keep his mouth shut.
Because he still can't talk English. He's like, he's trying to order a hamburger.
No. Just let this guy speaking his damn language already, all right? Just put some goddamn subtitles. It ain't going to kill nobody.
Yeah, ain't nobody care what he got to say anyway. Just kick somebody. That's all we want to see.
Kill, attack.
But yeah, that last one was so bad that I would rather you just leave it alone.
Right.
But if you want to come back and make one more badass Lethal Weapon movie to make up for that last one and almost pretend like that last one didn't happen, I'm for it. But look, man, we get these old dudes. Let them do other projects, but let's not keep bringing them back for more and more. Because Die Hard, you mentioned you want to see John McClane. What happened with Die Hard? It got ridiculous.
It got real ridiculous. Yeah,
I love that character, John McClane. I bought it for the second one, albeit it was a stretch. But I said, okay. Third one had Samuel Jackson, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a fun movie. Yeah.
But see, that's where you said this is not Die Hard anymore.
Right.
But I'll ride with it. Stop. And we got this fourth one. That ain't even. That's not even Die Hard, man. I'm sorry. That is not Die Hard.
I tell you what, though. I love the hell out of that goddamn movie. It was just I love that goddamn movie. Anytime where a guy is beating the shit out of a tiny Asian woman and he just does not care. I mean, he didn't only beat this Asian woman down. He ran her ass over with a goddamn truck.
Okay.
He threw everything but the kitchen sink at this broad, and I was like, fuck yeah. They want equal rights. They just got him. Boom, get an ass whipping like everyone else in these movies. Boom. Boom.
Hey, look,
but I will admit,
look, my man, this is where I disagree.
It was set in the world of the Transformers, Corey. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely set in the world of the Transformers.
Yeah,
where you got like jet planes, flying under freeways and doing all kinds of craziness.
Look, it was not. It was just. It was every other action film. It was not Die Hard. It was not what Die Hard was signature for. I mean, the only thing it had was Bruce Willis. Other than that, we had action that didn't even match up to the first one. I mean, John McClane.
The first movie is it's a completely
different film. John McClane had his roots in being he went through the same shit every 5 years. I mean, okay, in that world, whatever. But I mean, he was a guy who was about practical action.
Right.
Don't go anything beyond a crazy car chase. But this motherfucker jumped on the back of a jet in this movie. Again, it was a video game.
Yeah.
So now look, if you want to know to answer, let's see. Oh, Jack Ryan from God damn it. Who's the guy that did Rainbow Six and
Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy from the hit Tom Clancy's character. Jack Ryan could use a reboot.
I wish they would do a reboot. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they
I would love to see
remade all of the like Hunt for Red October.
I don't want them to remake it. I want them to cast a younger actor besides Harrison Ford. I want them to bring somebody in who was sort of like Alec Baldwin from Hunt for Red October.
They did that.
In which one?
With Ben Affleck.
Oh, which one was that?
I don't even remember.
Did he play Jack Ryan?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, fuck that then. No. But we don't know.
I didn't even see that one, but
in the words of Shia LaBeouf, no. Exactly. No, we don't need Ben Affleck. We need to bring in somebody else, somebody with a little more edge, somebody with who can do clean cut, but sort of dirty badassness and deep down inside.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is in a Terminator now. We don't need to see no more Christian Bale doing this shit. Okay, I love that guy. He's a great actor, but no more of that shit. You know what?
He's the only star right now who I can think that can pull everything you just said. Who can pull it off realistically?
No, we need to get some other soccer hooligan from over there who can do an English accent or an American accent.
We need to find somebody else.
We need to find another Christian Bale.
We can't put Christian Bale in everything, guys.
No, we cannot do that. Pretty soon that motherfucker's gonna be in a remake of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Exactly. And all I'm going to think is like, what the hell's Batman doing in a Charlie Brown movie?
It'd be like Christian Bale embodies the darkness of Charlie Brown. It's like, no, fuck that. But no, so I think we could use a reboot of Jack Ryan from the Tom Clancy series. Why
not the dude from 300? Gerard
Butler?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
But only if he can do an American accent.
That's true.
But
it seems like all those guys can pull off.
We can't do British accents.
They could do. They
can
do a better English accent than me. They can do standard American.
Those dudes
English.
can get down a Brooklyn accent.
They speak better than I do, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
I'm like, they're from England. Those sons of bitches.
Those motherfuckers do Ebonics better than I do.
What?
But man, okay. Now, if you want to know my dream of rebooting a franchise from the 80s. Okay, this is going to sound crazy. Now, this is a dream because I don't think it's possible. Okay. But I would love to see. I had this dream that Eddie Murphy will come in and revive his career by bringing back Axel Foley.
It's happening.
I know it is, but I don't know if they're going to do it right.
I'll tell you right now, no. Because Brett Ratner is attached to direct.
That might as well be Chris Tucker in that movie.
It might as well, dude.
They might as well just have Eddie Murphy.
In
fact, there's a line of dialogue for Eddie Murphy that says, "Hey, man."
Well, the funny thing is that they agreed to that, but I haven't heard anything about it since. So, I mean,
I heard it was rumored, but I don't know if it's actually going through. And if they look, I have no high hopes for that. That's why I say it's a dream. Because if they can do it right, I would love to see them say, "This is the Axel Foley from the first two movies, and Eddie Murphy's back." And this is great.
Eddie Murphy's back.
He ain't dunking in this movie.
He's been back. We just been trying to forget him, Corey. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I mean by Eddie Murphy is back. Not this other shit we seen.
The old Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live Eddie Murphy. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about Axel Foley, man. I mean, shit, bring him back as Gumby in the next
48 hours.
That dude too.
There you go. Him and Nick Nolte.
There you go. How cool would that be? Old Nick Nolte, just old and crotchety and worse than ever, just mad as hell. And Eddie Murphy coming in, they have to re-team together against their will.
Exactly.
And we get to see Nick Nolte beat the shit out of him at some point.
Exactly.
Reggie, I'm sick of this shit.
I'm tired of picking up these transvestites. I'm sick of you getting all these girls. I'm sick of you getting these Spice Girls pregnant. I can't handle it. Cops, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Cops.
Get out of the car, Reg. I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. Picking up these transvestites. Yeah.
Well, let me say one thing, Corey, before we end this. Mad Max, dude. I'm sorry, but I know Mel Gibson is crazy.
It's a good one.
But I would fucking kill to see another Mad Max series.
Hey, I'm with you there, my man.
Damn, I am so down for that. I don't want to see I know like it was rumored for a while that they were going to redo the series, which is bring in another guy. But I'm sorry, but I miss Mel Gibson. To me, will always be remembered for Mad Max. You
know what? I heard that too. That they want to restart the series.
I do not want that.
I want to see one more. Speaking of one more with old guys. Mel Gibson is crazy as fuck. We know he's crazy.
Yes.
That if there's any time,
let him direct the damn movie.
Yeah, because you know it'll be like
the apocalypse.
Yeah, let him beat the shit out of somebody like Jesus.
Exactly.
I mean, we know Mel Gibson is crazy. There has never been more of a time that he has been Mad Max than now. Because that motherfucker's mad as hell.
Exactly.
I'm talking about Mad Hatter type crazy.
I want him to get back in that 18-wheeler and just start running over a town. Whatever he has to do to get a glass of water. Who knows what the damn story's about? but just something insane.
And I want him to get another dog.
Yes.
You know,
I want the dog to come back.
Yeah.
I want that little feral ape boy to come back with the goddamn boomerang. Yeah,
that should be a sidekick.
And Fly Boy,
the skinny dude that rode the little chopper.
Yeah, the chopper. Yeah. Oh, that dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, partner. Hello, partner. I know where we can get oil.
So let's
no kids, please. No back to Neverland.
No, because that third one, man.
Wait,
Beyond
none of us will come.
Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner.
Yeah.
What was the guy called?
Which one? Master Blaster.
Master Blaster.
runs by town.
They're a unit. They work together. Master Blaster. Tina Turner was in there when she was playing. That's serious.
Now I wish they bring back Master Blaster because he was the best part.
They killed him,
but he was the best part. Not the old man.
You want to bring back the midget?
I want to bring back the midget. He can always find another big dope. Yes, he's like, who runs Barter Town? Master Blaster runs Barter Town. Louder.
Hey man, you got the right idea there. We do need another Mad Max. We need Mel Gibson needs to be in that shit.
Yes.
I mean, even kill him at the end so he can't come back. But we need one more.
He needs to come back and show people how to fucking do a real apocalyptic film. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, because Mad Max was badass.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Shit, just talking about
George Miller was.
Yeah, George Miller.
Yeah, that dude's badass, man. So,
well, thank God his Justice League didn't happen though.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah. They wanted to do a Justice League movie, and they wanted to do it with what?
Pretty much the cast of the OC.
Exactly, and
with the exception of Common, who. That would have been a pretty cool choice for Green Lantern, but I don't want to see him. Honestly, I don't really need to see that.
No. And as a matter of fact, they were talking that project went to so many bad ideas. They were talking about doing it as a completely CG movie. Yeah. Look, you just finished Batman.
You're right.
Don't nobody want to see no other kind of Batman for a while besides the one we just saw.
Exactly.
So don't fuck it up and by making some other Batman out there.
And if you think I caught hell for replacing Carlisle and a couple of Coens, you wait until they replace Batman.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
douchebag. You know, it's funny. I regret not putting up a blog about it. I might do it anyway. But they interviewed the guy who was fixing to play Batman, and he started talking some shit about, he's like, well, my Batman would have been, basically he wanted to say my Batman would have been badass. I know Christian Bale's out there, but I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up before you end up like one of those fucking imposter Batmans in goddamn Dark Knight where you got red lipstick all over your face, and you're going to have red lipstick on your ass too, all right?
And hung upside down.
You're going to be hung upside down. We're going to find you with a goddamn dog humping your head, and just shut up, man. Just shut the fuck up, all right?
Well, the images that go through your head, man. People think I'm crazy, but okay, let's go through this other email here from Santos. Santos has this to say, or to ask. He says, has there ever been a movie in which the entire A-list cast is killed off in the first 5 to 10 minutes?
No.
And a group of unknowns take over for the rest of the movie? I can't think of one because
I can.
What?
I want to say Mission Impossible.
Well, not the entire cast because they were sort of B-list actors who were following Tom Cruise.
Not Emilio Estevez. You take that back.
Okay, yeah, okay. In your world, Emilio Estevez is an A-list actor in Mission Impossible. Okay, you go ahead and run with that. But no, they did have some names in that movie where you're like, they killed everybody up, but Tom Cruise went on. Mm-hmm. We don't have a movie where the rest of the cast went on, and Hollywood won't do it because.
Oh no, are you kidding me?
What sense does that make?
Yeah, why spend the money on an A-list actor if you're just going to kill him?
Now, I'm thinking that's a great idea, and maybe one day there'll be a project where they'll come in and they'll have all these actors say, this script is genius, I want to make a cameo at the beginning to be killed off, and then you have a bunch of unknowns take off after that. Right. But it's going to be hard to sell a movie like that because people are going to come in to see.
Oh yeah, they want to see those actors. Those A-list actors, they're going to have their goddamn movie. They're going to have their name on the movie poster.
The only movie that I can think of like that's close, is they killed off one person, and it's because they pitched it so well.
Was it Steven Seagal? And executive decision?
No, because everybody else went on after that. Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, because Kurt Russell went on, but Steven Seagal. No, I'm thinking of Scream.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Scream, it only had one person though, and even though we had some other people, like Courtney Cox, whatever, from Friends and whatnot, Drew Barrymore, as far as being a movie actress, was probably the biggest name in there. It had on the poster, and when everybody saw her get killed off in the first 5 minutes, they were like, "What?"
Yeah,
What the
and that
fuck?
was sort of, didn't that, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that sort of mark her return to movies? I mean,
I don't know if it marked her return.
I mean, because I want to say that was before the Charlie's Angels films, right?
I think Drew Barrymore had always been a name that was out there.
Right. I mean, everyone. Well,
and honestly, I mean,
everyone knew who she was. Yeah.
Everybody everybody thought she was the star because she was on a poster and they pushed her, and nobody saw that coming where they killed her off. So I don't know if that even counts, but that's what I can think of.
Yeah.
There's something in the back of my mind. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna pull a Sarah Palin and not answer your question, but fill it in with something else.
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit. Because I'm thinking that there's a movie in my head that where. Okay, it's the opposite of what you're saying, where you had a big cast and they just killed off the entire cast in the most glorious way.
With the asteroid movie?
No. It's the Wild Bunch. Sam Peckinpah.
Oh yeah, the Wild Bunch. Yeah,
1969 Western, man.
Great fucking Western. Yes.
William Holden, Ernest Borgnine. Who else was in that movie?
Jesus, don't even make me.
But they had a cast of people in there, and at the end of that movie, they pretty much blew all those motherfuckers away.
Yeah, they did.
You remember, like, at the end when they came in, we want Angel. And you thinking they're going to rescue look, okay, stop people, because you should go watch this movie. It is a great film. Sam Peckinpah, he did Straw Dogs, Shadowland. He was known for being sort of an edgy, violent director. The Wild Bunch is probably his most violent film. And I think that movie, the biggest controversy was about the violence in that movie. And... you look at the cast?
I'll tell you right now. The cast was William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, Edmund O'Brien, Robin Oates. I don't think any of our audience has any clue.
Warren Oates.
Yeah,
I got something to say about that guy after that, but go ahead.
Okay, Jamie Sanchez, Ben Johnson, Emilio Fernandez, Strother Martin. LQ Jones.
Okay, you can stop there.
Okay, that was a huge cast. That was just a huge cast for that film.
Okay, Ben Johnson, Warren Oates, Ernest Borgnine, and William Holden at the time, big stars.
Ernest Borgnine especially.
Yeah. And William Holden was actually a really big star. If you look at him in that movie, you will never recognize him from being in another movie called Sabrina. He was like a romantic lead.
Yeah, that's
in this
right.
movie,
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, he's old. I mean, when we're talking about older actors coming in, like before Unforgiven, there was William Holden and the Wild Bunch. And that movie was Sam Peckinpah says he made that movie excessively violent as a way of commenting on Vietnam, as a way of enticing into audiences and saying, hey, you're looking at this, and at what point do you become disgusted? And it was also to turn the Western on his head. He's like, we saw cowboys and Indians and it was all heroic. He's like, not this fucking movie.
Yeah, in that movie, there were no good guys.
No, because those guys were robbers.
Yeah.
The Wild Bunch, the movie opens up with them being robbers. And then they have to go over to Mexico to escape. And they have to kill. You remember that scene where they have to kill one of their guys because the guy's like wounded?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm blind, I can't see. He's like, has this really disgusting injury. Yeah. And Will Holden just, like, he falls. It's such a sad scene. People, I might ruin this for you. If you want to know anything about the movie, then stop listening. But I'm gonna talk about it. And even if you listen to me, go rent this fucking movie, man. It's great. That guy that's injured falls on the ground. He's like, I'm blind, I can't see. You think they're gonna help him? William Holden pulls out his gun, like, bam. Yeah. And he's like, let's keep moving.
Yeah, and it was desperate times back then. Called for desperate measures, Corey. Yeah, I mean. Please go. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the movie just because it's going to be a real treat for you guys out there who, honestly, if you care a little about Westerns, that is honestly the one watch. Do yourself a favor, rent all the Sergio Leone films with Clint Eastwood, and rent the Wild Bunch. Yeah. I mean, that one will kick you in your ass. And you're gonna be pissed off that they're not making movies like that.
Oh man,
anymore,
no!
As far
that
as
movie was made in 1969. 1969, and that movie is still brutal. To this day.
I'm sure if they released that film, I mean, it would probably catch some shit. I mean, if let's just say we plucked that movie out from the past, nobody had ever seen it, and we tried to put it in the cinemas today. I mean, I'm almost positive like there'd be a little controversy to it, just how just brutal it is.
Oh yeah, people would, if nothing else, people would say you just got to brace yourself before you go. And like I said, 69, man, and that movie still holds up today. So. Yeah, that's one movie where they kill off the cast, and like I said, that they killed off that cast in like probably the best way possible. So everybody that you see that we named like as being the heroes of this movie, gone.
I love how we just like ruined that.
Well, I mean, everybody kind of knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old film. You shouldn't. If you haven't seen it, that's your fault.
I mean, but that's one of the things I tell you. If you can't hear about the Wild Bunch without saying, we want Angel, and then at the end, everybody gets blown away. You just have to, I mean, it's such a great movie, though. We're not ruining it for you, so just watch it. Man, I got an email here.
What you got, Corey? What you got?
Got an email
energy
here.
Flowing. Come on.
From a guy named Andre. Andres. I'm going to say Andre because I'm going to guess that the S is silent at the end of his name. Okay. I'm going to try and read as much as I can here because I said something about Jurassic Park that he did set this guy off.
I see where this is going. Okay.
And I'm going to explain my points here, okay? All right. He says, I've got to tell you, Corey, reaction to you saying you like Jurassic Park 3 over 2 is the same reaction I got when Leon said he liked Spider-Man 3 over 2. Jurassic Park 3 sucked. I'm sorry, dude. Let me go on and read some more. Like it's hurt my feelings. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't make the fucking movie.
I love that.
Something you should know, though, is that I used to agree with you. When I was 11 and first saw Jurassic Park 3, I thought it was freaking awesome. Then I turned 18, did what you told me to do, and I went back and watched the Jurassic Park movies. And that's when I told myself, wow, Part 2 is actually pretty good. Part 3 is some old bullshit. All right, now here's the part I really want to address here. It's a long paragraph, but let me read it. I know even though you loved the first one, you criticized it by saying the story was bad. This is really offensive to me because you're criticizing the story. I mean, the whole reason why it is so incredible and why it is a cult classic. A lot of points need to touch it, man. That was one of Spielberg's greatest stories on the level of campfire stories such as Jaws and E.T. I mean, come on. Taking preserved dino DNA out of fossilized mosquitoes to clone dinosaurs. Genius, genius, genius! Those are his words right there. A lot of exclamation points.
Calm down.
This is science fiction gold. How could you consider this a bad story? The story only evolves with espionage, the adaptations of the dinosaurs' ability to breed. God, I'm geeking out just talking about it.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
he's
telling me to go back and watch Jurassic. Okay,
yeah, he has his mind set
okay,
up.
First of all, let me tell you something. First and foremost, you described Jurassic Park, the first movie, as a cult classic.
Yeah.
That movie is not a cult classic. The movie is one of a major money maker and a blockbuster.
Yes,
that movie is not by any means a cult classic.
Look up cult classic, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me say this, Corey, right off the bat. Mm-hmm. This guy fucked up by saying Jurassic Park 2 was good. I'm sorry, but that movie was a piece of shit. All right, that movie took everything that was good about the first one and just made it ridiculous.
Yeah,
it pulled a Star Wars prequel on me. At least.
Man,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm seeing a little girl doing gymnastics, fighting off dinosaurs, I'm sorry, but
thank you. That was one of my points because I was going to go through point by point some of the things I did not like about the film.
That chick was doing Gymkata, dude. I'm sorry.
It was, that movie is insanely bad, especially for Spielberg. Mm-hmm. And I got a reason why I think it was that bad. Look, the first movie, you say how great the story is. You say it's genius. That's based on a novel by Michael Crichton. He did not write that story.
Right.
Okay. And I would suggest you go read the novel. Now, Jurassic Park, I love. It's a defining moment in my life. But compared to the book, that book is so dark. And Steven Spielberg took it and he kind of made it what he does for Spielberg. He made a blockbuster that could appeal to anybody, which I understand. Yeah, kids love dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. That book was so dark that he had to tone some of it down. Right. As a matter of fact, Richard Attenborough's character, who plays the scientist in the movie, he dies in that book.
Right.
He dies in a horrible way. The way that I forgot the actor's name is the Australian guy who dies by the little dinosaurs in the second book. That's how he dies in the first book. Richard Attenborough's character. Right. But the only thing I didn't like about the movie is that if you look at it, you're awestruck by the dinosaurs. But really, and historical scenes in that movie, the dinosaur walking, the water vibrating, the eye coming down to the window. I'm not talking shit about this movie. That is a great movie, but the story in certain parts a little over cute.
Yeah,
it's not that good.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, and with that type of movie, it's supposed to be magical because we're seeing dinosaurs for the first time, and we're gonna get distracted if all this dark shit starts coming in. People get torn apart. It's not gonna be a Spielberg film anymore. It's gonna be something else. And I won't even dare say it'll be Jaws. I mean, but you know what? I prefer Jaws over Jurassic Park.
If you want to take just the total tone of the film, Jaws has no kids in there to distract you. Mm-mm. Jaws has no overtly magical moments. And granted, with dinosaurs, we needed that in Jurassic Park. Look, Jurassic Park is the first movie where they majorly used CG. I want to say 3G, like the 3G iPhone. Where they use CG and especially to the effectiveness of making organic things look real.
Yeah.
That's still a landmark film.
I mean, it made George Lucas cry, and that's the film that said, "Okay, I can do these new Star Wars prequels."
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
he apparently not.
I wish he never saw. I wish he was sick that day.
His movies made me cry. But you know something? The first time I saw a dinosaur in Jurassic Park, I cried. I mean, I grew up as a kid loving dinosaurs, and I was like,
"Pussy."
Wow, yeah, hey man, I am. That's me.
Damn, cool.
But I was just like,
they're not real.
I was like, dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs aren't real, kid.
But, man, come on, I was a kid, man. But Jay, but I saw. I'm looking at this movie, and I'm thinking this is a great film. But listen. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that the movie has these cute moments with these kids that were kind of crowbarred into the film.
Right.
Go back and read that novel, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to say the movie's bad.
No, it's not bad.
And by any means at all. I saw the movie 5 times when it came out in the theater, and I would still defend the movie today, saying it's one of the greatest movies out there because it is a landmark film.
It is.
Not story-wise necessarily, but...
It's all a matter of taste, man.
It is. And let's take that into consideration too. Yeah. Now, you want to know why I said Jurassic Park 2 is a worse film than Jurassic Park 3? Let's take, for example, how rushed in this movie felt when they tried to just bring in people from the first film,
right? And
just to show you that they were there, and then get them out the picture. Richard Attenborough,
and then we're stuck with what's his name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Well, at the beginning of the movie, we know we're not getting Sam Neill back. Right. We know we're not getting Laura, whatever her name is, back. I forgot her name. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about, the chick in the first movie. We know we're not getting her back. Laura Dern.
Yeah,
yes. We're not getting Laura Dern back. But they bring those kids back in Richard Attenborough. We know we're not going to get them for a long time because Spielberg doesn't. The story's just not written that well. So Richard Attenborough makes a cameo, and those kids. Watch that movie. The director's so bad. They don't get a word of dialogue, and they're shot together like they had to like they're tied at the ankle because they had to fit in every shot. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, that's really awkward. Okay, so you let that go. All right, let's take the scene where the girl does the things with gymnastics.
Gymkata?
She's like trying to get away from a velociraptor by doing gymnastics. And it's like, okay, that is such a badly written scene because they set it up. They give you foreshadowing. Like, how's your gymnastics class? I'm doing well, so I can escape from dinosaurs. You know, it's like, come on, man. But let's get to the real ridiculous shit in this. We have a separate story at the beginning, which is kind of cheesy, but it's passable. But then once that dinosaur hits what is it, San Diego? Is it?
Oh yeah, where the T-Rex
the ship comes in
and he's running around, and it looked more like a town than any city. It looked like a small town.
For some reason Spielberg wants to make this a parody. The ship hits the dock. First of all, there's nobody driving the ship. There's a hand hanging onto the wheel.
Yeah, that's
like, who drove this ship into the dock? And then and second of all, the T-Rex is locked in a cage. So how did everybody die if the T-Rex was locked in the back of this compartment, which all of a sudden opens up when they get to this dock and he breaks free? Now, when he breaks free, that last part is so rushed because they just go in there, terrorize the city for a little bit, and it's all wrapped up. In the middle of that scene, we get a scene where he actually chases some Japanese guys down the street, which is supposed to be it's supposed to be a throwback to Godzilla. And I'm like, that is the worst parody I've ever seen.
You know, I'm actually shocked that you remember so much because that movie was just so not memorable for me. I don't remember a goddamn thing from it except the Gymkata and the T-Rex running through
and the whole thing with them trying to protect the baby T-Rex so that the mother could get it back and then taking the dinosaur back. Yeah. That last part, do you know how much of because they pitch it as the dinosaurs come to civilization. Yeah. It's one little part in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even that good. No, and they wrap it up so quick. There's no real devastation. There's no real panic.
Well, how did they wrap it up? I mean, they
end up taking it back to Jurassic Park with the baby, and everything's okay.
I just remember them like all running in the helicopter, and that's where I kind of tuned out.
And then the little baby, I think the little baby somehow alerts the mother, or the baby itself kind of kills the evil guy in the movie, the one who wants to exploit the dinosaurs. Spielberg was filming Schindler's List at the same time.
Yes.
And Schindler's List was obviously his priority.
Oh, yeah.
Jurassic Park 2 was meant to just get out there, make a little money.
He phoned it in.
That's the perfect term right there.
Yes. And that's his, and that's Spielberg's biggest goddamn problem. He did the same thing with War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
He filmed that with Munich, and obviously...
Yeah, he was working on Munich.
His heart was in Munich, obviously, because War of the Worlds just... I'm like, dude, this is supposed to be a huge event. I mean, I thought that... I mean, for me, that was like Spielberg's return to sci-fi, and I was expecting something like just incredible, and when I saw it, I was like, that's all I get. This movie is called War of the Worlds, right?
Yeah.
And it's a personal story about fucking Tom Cruise hanging out with his goddamn kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, a director named George Powell, George Powell, who did these really cool animated shorts called George Powell Puppetoons. Mm-hmm. He directed. He was kind of the Spielberg of his day.
Oh yeah,
look up George Powell. He did a movie with Houston. No, not Houston, but what's the guy Moses that just died? Why am I having such a hard name saying these names?
Charlton Heston. Yeah, Charlton Heston.
He did it called it was a movie where the Naked Jungle about ants taking over the jungle, and he has to fight them. A lot of forgotten movies this guy did. He did that. He did
When Worlds Collide.
And no, I don't know if he did that or not, but he produced or maybe he directed, but he did War of the Worlds. As a matter of fact, there was a rivalry between him and Disney on what they would direct. Disney, they made a gentleman's agreement. Disney agreed to go off and direct 20,000 Leagues Underneath the Sea, and George Powell went off to direct War of the Worlds. So there's a possibility that Walt Disney might have directed a version of War of the Worlds, but George Powell took it, and that version of War of the Worlds actually held up a whole lot better.
Oh no, that's still a great film.
You see it on TV sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's a great film. I mean, it's better than Spielberg's. To be honest,
it's way better. And go and keep in mind that this guy was an animator too. Go and check out some George Powell Puppetoons. He actually did stop motion with sort of like what they did with The Night Before Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas, where he made these puppets out of wood, and so he had to carve out different heads for all these.
And Corey, figures. Don't forget he directed one of my favorite classics, The Time Machine.
That's right. He did do The Time Machine.
Mm-hmm. I love that movie. Yes.
Yeah, he did do The Time Machine. So yeah, George Powell, man, did a much better job. And check out his Puppetoons and check out War of the Worlds. But yeah, Spielberg had done that at the time, and it didn't hold up as well as his movie.
Oh no.
As a matter of fact, as far as I know, the original story of War of the Worlds that I would like to see done took place in Victorian times.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But
it would be cool to see that.
It would be cool. It'd be interesting.
It would be cool to see somebody.
I like to see it done.
Well, think about Victorian age technology going up against space age technology.
That would be pretty interesting. I know it would be expensive as hell to try to make a film like that, but it's still, it still makes me really pissed off, like the potential that War of the Worlds had. Especially with Spielberg behind it. I mean, because honestly, if you still ask me today, if that version was never made, who would you get to direct War of the Worlds? I would still say Steven Spielberg. But
only if he wasn't
doing anything else. Yes, if he didn't have any other projects he was directing,
and they could actually do that. Right,
yeah,
and not to say that there weren't some really good scenes in War of the Worlds.
No, there's some pretty cool scenes in there.
Like
but
when they were escaping, and they're going around the car.
The ferry scene. I mean, the ferry scene was incredible. Yeah.
I
mean, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" But as soon as that scene's over, then you're dealing. As soon as they get in that house,
they spend so much
he
time
runs into Tim Robbins. I mean, it turned into something else, and I was like, okay.
That's a big part of the original story, but still,
it just wasn't done right, and honestly, it just. There's something went wrong at that point, and I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, man. I agree with you. Now, to answer your question, the reason why I think that Jurassic Park 3 is better.
Oh, we're finally answering this.
Yeah, exactly. We finally get to it. After giving you a history lesson. But listen, the reason why Jurassic Park, because it's a real simple answer. Yeah. The reason why Jurassic Park 3 is better. Look, it's not that great of a movie, but it doesn't have a whole lot of stupid shit in it.
No, not at all.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, the movie gets straight to the point.
Exactly.
You want to see dinosaurs go after people,
chasing people, eating them, and their whole goal is to escape. Yeah, that's exactly.
Get straight. We don't get stupid scenes like that boat scene. There weren't any stupid cameos, and there just weren't as many dumb scenes that not only were dumb, but they were just there to be filler.
Right.
I mean, that movie is the only thing that was bad about it is that they had another kid, and they're talking about doing another Jurassic Park. cut the kid shit, okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Let's do something else.
Enough of the kids, but unfortunately, as much as I love saying that, you know Hollywood, and I
know.
guarantee you they're gonna throw in like fucking 4 kids and a midget. So,
a midget's supposed to be a kid.
The midget part would be awesome.
I'm 8 years old.
Yeah. Quick run from the dinosaurs.
And just on a on a quick note, people, we mentioned George Powell's name. I won't dwell on this, but this is a very underrated director. Mm-hmm. Go and look at this guy's body of work, and we don't mention him a lot, but he gave us some sci-fi classics that people still remember today, but we just don't know his name. So,
and he produced
When Worlds Collide.
Yeah, and you watch it, and it does very much feel like he directed it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, George Powell was he was overshadowed by Walt Disney during his time, but which is unfortunate, but great guy.
Mouse.
Yeah, that fucking mouse just swamping everybody, eating everybody. Oh, all right. Let's see what we got.
What's up next,
here.
Corey?
All right. Oh,
what we got on the menu?
Oh man, maybe we're at the end. Maybe that was it.
At the end already?
Yeah, that was all, man. That went pretty fast. I thought I had more here.
Well,
we can. Somebody wrote. If you just want to know something interesting.
Yeah, I'm always dying to know
who's
something
not
interesting.
Who's not up
you
for
know
anything
me.
interesting? Of course,
I'm all about interesting, partner.
Let me see what we got here, because somebody turned in a good blog post, and let me see who did it. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I can answer something right here. Because Santos had a 2-part question.
2-parter. Oh,
no,
boy.
He just can't ask one. Oh, here's what he says. He says, and there's something else I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, really?
What is the difference between Austin's Alamo Drafthouse Theater and the ones in other parts of Texas, like, say, San Antonio?
They're in San Antonio.
Exactly.
There
location. There you go.
There
right
you go.
there. No. You have the business located here in Austin, and you have the affiliates and the franchises in other places. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Alamo Draft House is, it was founded by Tim and Carrie League, 2 people who took a parking lot in the warehouse district here in Austin, and I think 1997, I believe. Do you know?
Your guess is as good as mine, Corey.
Okay, I believe it's 1997, and they took a parking lot and decided to turn it into a movie theater, where you can not only go in and eat, but you could also have a beer. And it would just kind of change the movie watching experience. And that concept took off so well that they started to have different locations in Austin. I think right now we're up to 4?
I think about 4. Let me see. There's South, downtown.
Yeah,
at least 4. Yeah.
Okay, we have downtown. We have Lake Creek, which is way up north from us. Yeah,
the Anderson location,
and then we have the Anderson Lane location. Then we have South. So that's
the
4.
Village, which is
So we have 4 locations here. Now they have some. And I think they have a business in Houston too, like the business locations.
Yeah.
But then we have some other franchises, like they have one in Virginia, I believe. They have the San Antonio location is a franchise, I believe. Now, I believe me, I'm not an expert on this, but what really distinguishes, and Alamo Drafthouse was voted one of the best, the best theater in America by Entertainment Weekly,
and it is, and it deserves it.
It deserves it.
They as many events as those guys, pull and are able to get those guys are able to get almost any director who is just cool and is willing to, hang out with a bunch of geeks. Those guys can do it. I mean, they get Kevin Smith, they get George Romero. It's amazing. I mean, obviously Robert Rodriguez, Quentin
Tarantino has QT Fest.
Quentin Tarantino, yeah, he's the biggest supporter. They are just able to pull all these really cool events. They do the roadshow tours, which is basically, they'll go and play the movie where Close Encounters took place, as far as,
traveling road shows.
Yeah, the traveling road shows, yeah.
And I guess, co-host, that's what you're right about. That's the biggest difference between them and the other business locations are the franchises. Is that the original location here? Now, the original location, which was the parking lot, that's changed already. They sold that. It's a nightclub now. They're down on 6th Street, which they took over another nightclub in the Ritz. It's called the Alamo Ritz.
Yeah, the Alamo Ritz. Yeah.
And they get as you see, what you just mentioned are the special events. It's going to be here in Austin that those ideas are going to be created, they're going to be thought about, and they're going to occur here. And as a matter of fact, more of those events have been happening down south because there's better parking there.
Right.
And so you're going to get all the events where the directors come in. You're going to get things like Button-O-Mathon.
Fantastic Fest took place at the Alamo South Lamar location.
Yeah, the recent Fantastic Fest took place there. So all of your special events where people come in, your guests, your celebrities, your directors, and all your festivals like Button-O-Mathon, QT Fest, and Fantastic Fest, those are going to be happening here in Austin because Austin is the original baby. So,
that's right, and you were right, Corey. It was founded in 1997.
I'm not so bad. My memory's not so bad.
We do know some of our shit.
Yeah, believe it or not, people. Everybody thinks I play the dumbass there, but I know a little bit of things.
I'll take that flag, Corey. I'm the dumbass.
I think people take us both as the dumbasses here. But hey, deep down.
Sorry, my movie knowledge isn't deep for you.
But yeah, so I thought it was because I remember when I was working downtown when they were building that place, and it's that's the biggest thing. I mean, your events are going to take place here in Austin. I don't know what they do with the other franchises,
right?
So I can't really.
I don't know.
Say.
I hope they're serving beer. I mean, because honestly,
they got to, man.
That's the one thing that sets them apart. Yeah. So
I mean, even more than the food.
If you go to an Alamo Draft House and they're not serving beer, yeah, you need to write the owners.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
I'm sure there's something really wrong with that.
You at a different theater. Yeah, you're at the Anime Draft House or something. So.
Must be in the Bible Belt.
But man, they serve some good food. Sometimes some of it is great, some of it's a little overpriced, I think, but all of it's good. My favorite thing to get is the goat cheese salad.
What? That's not food. That's something I throw out to the goat.
That's cheese for goats. I'm not. You see me at the fighting the goat.
Sicko, yeah.
Man, get your ass back. This is my salad.
Some llama food.
See me the goat out there fighting, and I lose. My salad, but.
I'm eating my own milk.
Gross. Cannibalism.
It's not cannibalism.
This is cannibalism. But no, I did have one question I forgot to put here. Speaking on things where people are asking me what I know. Look, people,
what do you know, Corey?
Man, there's two questions here. There's been one question where people have this is one of the few times I want to come out and just say this to people because I don't want people to get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
For this site, the biggest thing for me that works is our humor.
I like. Well, I can't comment on that. I don't know what people think about.
Well, no. Well, when I say that, I mean that we're not sitting around trying to prove how much we know about movies.
Oh, no.
We're not sitting around trying.
God knows I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to be entertaining.
Yeah,
nobody wants us to be a bunch of eggheads sitting around saying, "Hey, we know this. Let me prove my knowledge to you."
Are you sure? Did you read the last couple of Cohen's comments?
Fuck them. A couple of people, if they want that kind of shit, let them go read some other website where they do that. I mean, we want to come across as guys because that's what we are. We're just guys who we like movies. We say what we know.
You guys are guys.
Yeah,
I'm a robot
one machine right here.
Happens to be stuck in the middle.
You have the personality of a guy, so otherwise I'd be trying to hump you too. But
hey,
but you don't have that voice.
Stay back.
Get going out of here. Here now. But no, we just want. If we know something, we know. If we don't, we don't.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so we'll try to look it up for you. At least I'll try.
There was an email that was sent to me that kind of bothered me a little bit. I don't think. And when I thought about it, I thought back. I don't want to say who it is. I don't even want to mention it.
Okay, just say what it. Yeah,
it was just. It just came across because I don't want people to think. I don't think people really. After thinking about it, I don't think people really feel this way. But it just said one person thought that people putting somebody was putting a bad image of me out there, saying that things like I lie in reviews. I'm a guy who's drunk out in the middle of the streets fighting people. I'm sleeping with a different woman every weekend.
That part is not true. I'll let you know now.
I'm pretty lame.
Corey's always hanging out playing video games around here. So. Yeah. If humping girls on Grand Theft Auto is scoring, then yeah, he's a player like no other.
I don't have time to do any of that stuff. I mean, come on. But the biggest thing that bothered me is people. One guy said, "You think I'm coming on here lying about what we do in reviews? I'm trying to be smarter." Somebody else even came. Now somebody wasn't criticizing, but somebody else came in and said. Yeah. it seems like a lot of people associated with your group knows a lot of things, knows a lot of celebrities, and they're not afraid to mention it. And there's something to the effect of, I don't have the email in front of me, but it was something to the effect of, it sounds like you know people sometimes it doesn't. If you know people, then why don't you tell those stories? Why don't you say anything? If you don't, then why does everybody know more than you do? Look, let me tell you something. First of all, I come on here and I sound stupid for a reason, because I do want to lighten things up. I want to entertain people.
We're just shooting the shit. We're hanging out.
That's me. I want to sit down and just like you and I. I mean, this is not an act. What you and I are talking right here. This is
if this were an act, no, I'd have all my shit together. I'd have everything scripted. I'd have all my movie knowledge all written down right in front of me, reading that shit. IMDb right in front of my face. I'm sorry, but
there wouldn't be so many who's that girl? No, this is us being real, okay? I mean, but sometimes we're under the guys. We upplay things, okay? Yeah. And I'll play the role of the idiot, or the guy who's a womanizer, or the guy who's out there getting drunk all the time.
God knows all the other guys are helping you out with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of those stories are based in truth. I'm not going to lie to you. Everybody's gone through periods. I've gone through periods of women, alcohol, and just being stupid, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm so busy these days, I'm not even paying attention to that.
Hey, how can you?
Who wants to?
Hey, I'm too busy banging chicks. How can I pay attention to that? You know, I'll bang them over the head with my head. So I'm constantly banging, Corey, and I just don't have time to sit down.
Banging your head against the wall.
And pay attention. What Joe Fro, who's on the site every hour on the hour.
Hey, I
don't have time to worry about his comments.
When I say alcohol and women, don't get me. I'm not some gigolo, and I haven't gone to Alcoholics Anonymous or anything. I'm not. I wasn't even that bad in those areas. But I just don't want people to think that. Basically, a lot of people think.
Okay, number one, you cannot help what people are going to think.
That's true.
I'm sorry. So don't even try to solve that.
You're
it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Take it from me.
That's
3000. The more people want to talk about you, Corey, that means the more they're interested in you. All right, buddy?
That's true.
Bad press is good press. When people are talking shit about me, I'm glad they're talking about me. Because you know what? They got me on the fucking brain. You know what? And my real fans, they're all banging girls. They ain't all wasting their time over here going, man, co-host, you suck, man. Fuck off, co-host, you son of a bitch. You don't know nothing about movies. You suck.
Well, it's the same thing with you, man. I don't want people thinking bad shit about you, so I don't want people thinking bad shit
Corey,
about you.
I don't care.
Okay.
Corey, all those guys, they're all dead already. They just don't know
they don't know it yet. Well, the thing is, the most important thing to me is that all this other stuff, gay, gigolo, drunk,
you're a gay
right.
gigolo.
I'm a gay gigolo. Hey, you guys think about that, but one thing that I do not do, and I don't think anybody else really intentionally does, none of us really intentionally do this, is we don't lie about things in reviews. We try to tell who we are. I mean, what do we got to gain by it? Nothing. Nobody comes here and lies about this shit, okay? I mean, nobody needs to. The other thing, as far as, and this goes for all of us, all right? As far as talking about who we know, what do we know, and look, I can tell you.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, look, I can tell you stories. Name dropping is not my thing, and I hate people who do it. Yeah. I mean, if you want to know the truth, I can sit up here and tell you about a couple hours worth of stories about directors I've seen, people who would stop me in the street and say, "Hey, Corey," but you know something? You spend 30 minutes with somebody, even if they know who you are, even if they stop and say hi and whatnot. Yeah. That doesn't make you buddies with them.
Exactly.
Doesn't make you friends.
You're absolutely right. God knows I've talked to my share of famous people, whatever, but you know what? We're not talking about movies. Yeah. We're just shooting the shit.
Exactly.
And you know what? And that's my shit. That's my shit. It's not your shit. That's my shit.
Yeah. Now, there'll be a time.
Why do I want to share it? Yeah. If we feel like it's entertaining and we think it's gonna pique some, just if we just think it's something cool to talk about, we'll bring it up, but no, I don't give a shit. Corey, I don't give a shit who you're talking to.
And some people might be impressed by that, but it's not my deal. I don't think it's your deal. To sit up here and talk about, I know this guy. I mean, that just makes you sound like an asshole. I don't like when people do it to me. It's not impressive who you know, because you know what? They did this shit. You just know them. You don't know it. You didn't do what they did. So what makes you so special? Yeah. The other thing is that, like I said, I know some people actually who are famous and would actually talk to me, but if I told you that, what would that prove to me?
Exactly.
Other than like, I'm insecure and I need to make my self-worth more evident to you by talking about somebody else I know.
Let me just say this. If I was hanging out with Megan Fox and Scarlett Johansson, I ain't telling nobody. Because you know what?
Exactly.
All those motherfuckers are going to want to be hanging around with me. Fuck them. Those are my girls. You leave them alone. If I see you looking at them, your ass is dead. You're dead.
Yeah. I mean, Leon could tell you stories about a couple of people that he knows that he hangs with that are famous. And you know what? He doesn't because he's cool.
No,
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Exactly.
I mean, we don't need
And you know what? And famous people find out you're talking shit. I mean, you're bragging about it. They don't want to be around you anymore.
Exactly.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear that shit. So
when I hear it, I don't want to hear it. You're telling your friends you're hanging out with co-hosts, you're talking to co-hosts. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dropping my name for what? What are you getting out of this? What are you getting that I should be getting? Huh?
Nobody. Yeah. I mean, we all have stories, man, and really, none of us wants to name drop. So maybe one of these days you'll get them in private. Maybe we'll say something, but we're not gonna sit up here and be like, hey, you know who I hung out with this week? You know what I did with? Hey, let me tell you a story about this famous person I was with. Hey, coming from me. I mean, it's just.
Let me tell you who I'm hanging out with, Corey. I'm hanging out with Shithead McGee right over here, and he's a lot cooler than any director you'll ever meet.
And that's the other thing about it. Like, why do you want to drop some famous person's name when you got so many friends who are famous that you're hanging around?
Yeah,
that you see all the time.
About those poor sons of bitches.
I'd rather tell you about some dude that I know who's a friend of mine who's not famous making a film. Like, hey man, this motherfucker over here is spending $5 on a movie.
I'll tell you about a friend of mine right now who used to go out. He used to videotape bums.
Clay?
Used to go and no, not Clay. My buddy named Ricky. He used to go out with him and his buddies, and on a Friday night, you know, while the kids, and these were, I remember.
How come I don't see these people coming to the studio talking to you? How you know these people?
Yeah, I got my, don't you worry about that.
Your internet friends?
No, man, these guys would go out like on Friday nights and go hang out on the drag and film these bums, and they'd have these bums singing like Iron Maiden songs. To see a bum on the video going, "Don't be afraid of the dark," and then like the best part of this video was, for some reason they were talking shit to one of the bums. Like, they all know each other, so they were kind of friends. So he's like, "Man, shut up, Rod. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You son of a bitch." And the guy got up, and him and his friends, they were laughing, and they started chasing him. So
I remember the story.
So like the guy is running almost backwards with the camera while you see these bums chasing, and it's like it's almost like a Diary of the Dead. You see these kind of slow moving bums. They look like zombies. And so he grabs the camera, right? He runs into this garage. He moves the camera to where all you see is like the brick from the garage. And then he moves it out to where you can see the outside. And as soon as he moves that camera, he moves it to the right. All you see is this bum's face just go appear and go, blah! I swear to God, that's like the best horror film ever. And no one will ever see it.
Not even living homeless people.
Yeah, that should have been turned into a goddamn series. Every time he brought one of those tapes over, I'd be like, throw it on, please.
Man, you've told me these stories. I've been down for years to actually see these tapes. As a matter of fact, I know you know these people.
Yeah, I do.
Because I was in a Furs. Now the Furs is the equivalent. I don't know what people have around the country. People have Piccadillys or Lubies, but I met that guy,
Ricky.
Yeah, I met him in a Furs cafeteria.
Awesome.
And he was like paying in front of me, and he's like, "Hey, you know co-host?" And I was like, "Yeah, you the fuck you know co-host?" He's like, "I am that buddy of mine." But he's like, "Yeah, man." I said, "Are you the guy that filmed the bums?" And he's telling me about those, and he said he's going to show them to me, but. Everything that you were telling me, because it was coming from him and he was there, it's like it's even worse than what you said. it's like he gave me more detail.
Yeah,
like how these bums got up and they chased him and shit. Yeah. Like what he told, I was like fascinated. I want to see these tapes, man.
All right, I think I still have contact with some of those guys. I'll try to see what I can dig up.
I'll be great,
I always tell those guys. I mean, God, I don't know what they're doing right now, but. I would kill to grab those tapes and just throw them on YouTube.
They should be on YouTube.
They should. I tell them. I mean, I haven't talked to them in a few years. But,
I mean, we got bum fights and whatnot.
Yeah, these are far more entertaining than bum fights, and you don't feel bad at the end after watching it. You know? Yeah, it's funny how much of the guys I used to know, how much material and stuff they had that if it was on YouTube, it would make a killing, dude. I swear to God.
Why hasn't he done that?
Because those guys got caught up in life, I guess they missed the YouTube boat.
I mean, you saved that shit.
Know.
Just
well, they have it. They still have it. At least that's what they tell me. So,
all right.
Anyway,
okay. Next, I just want to mention real quick this party on the 18th.
Party time! Party! Pizza party!
No,
is that what it is? Pizza party?
No, I'm gonna bring some steakums for people. Cook those up. No, I'm I just want to mention this real quick.
Go for it.
Just remind people that it's on October 18th. That's 18th. A Saturday.
That's right, Saturday. Party time.
Yeah, over at Mother Egan's. I'll be putting up the party video again.
Party Central, yeah.
If you don't know what Mother Egan's is, look it up online. You'll find it. Somebody even videotaped a walkthrough. Some creepy looking guy. Some guy videotaped going through.
I saw that.
Did you see it? Did you see? And he's like, I'm going to videotape myself now.
Yeah, I had to turn it off. I was so creeped out. And it wasn't like he was videotaping girls. He was videotaping a place. I never thought videotaping a place could be so creepy.
I know, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Mother Egan's. Look,
here's the front door.
And here's the back.
Things I do to that back door.
This is where I'm getting thrown out. But, look it up online, Mother Egan's. You'll find the address because I don't know it by heart. And again, it's not a party for promotion or something to try to get people to join the site. It's just an appreciation party for people to come out. So far, I think we got about 5 people coming in from different states.
Awesome.
I know, that's kind of crazy to me.
5 of them? Awesome.
All 5.
All of our fans. All 5 of them, yes.
They're all going to be there.
Party. Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll have a few people coming in from around Austin. So it should be fun. Just want to remind people, October 18th, Mother Egan's, 6 p.m. till probably close. And I'll probably have some people over to my place for an after party. There's a few people who want to come and do a cold ones with us or whatever it is that you and I are doing right now, whatever this is called.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
they want to come and be a part of this?
I think they just want to come and see what it's like. So
right. Well,
it depends how many people come. They can either be a part of it or we'll rotate them in and have them talk. I mean, if they're in town, do you mind?
Okay,
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Stop them?
No, I'm just wondering.
No. I think that would be kind of cool, actually. So yeah.
Okay, then
they can hang. Yeah.
All right. So
if they're cool and they're not crazy, yeah, they can definitely hang. All right. I'm not scared.
Have them coming to my house after the party. I hope they're not crazy. So we'll see how that works out. So there you go.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, people. I guess we'll go ahead and close out now. I just want to say I'm sorry for being late this week with a lot of stuff. I had to go see my dad. I had defensive drive. I just got back. That's why I was late coming doing this tonight. I apologize to you.
Dude. Hey, no need to apologize to me.
But to go see my dad is at the VA hospital. My dad is like pushing like 80 something now. He's like,
how's your dad doing?
Man.
I'm sorry to ask.
No. My dad, I went there tonight and I tried to, earlier today, and I tried to bond with him.
Oh,
like I went in and I gave him a hug and I was like, hey, Dad, I love you, man. You're looking really good. And we sat down and talked and I was like, how's people taking care of you? How are things going? I was like, and I tried to bring up some memories. Like, I remember that time when you did this for me. And he looked at me and just like, I thought he was really listening. I guess he was zoning out because he looked at me like, son, get me a hamburger.
That's usually how I treat you. Co-host, you've been doing really great with a couple of comments. Hey, dude, you mind going and grab me, go grab me some oil or something.
Get me a hamburger. Hamburger. You don't even need hamburgers. Put it on my head.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, what do I get a hamburger? And the nurse came in and told me, so like, he likes hamburgers from Sonic. Get him a Sonic hamburger and tater tots.
And not only is he giving you orders, but she's giving you orders.
Yeah, I was like, okay. She's like, and get him. He likes sweet tea with no ice. I was like, oh, jeez.
Damn, what are you, his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, what are you doing to my dad in here? Free hand jobs or something? What's going on?
I wish.
But, it took me back to the time when I was sick and my dad called me up and, cause I was at home and my dad asked me, what do you have an appetite for? And I was like, a pizza. And he went and got me. And like, it was for my dad to leave, cause he had this gas station that he used to run and there were alcoholics and drug users that he hired to run a gas station. I mean, I don't know why he never
hey, it's cheap labor. I'd hire him.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times at the middle of the night people come to my house and be some toothless guy. Hey, little Coleman, what's going on? Well, where your daddy at?
Hey, I tell you what, you don't have to worry about the place being robbed when the robbers are actually working for you. So,
they came out to the house in the middle of the night, saying, I need $20, Mr. Coleman. They wouldn't just want to go get drugs or alcohol or like a woman would show up and Mike's in jail. Jesus, man.
Great.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird time, but but yeah, no, my dad. Thank you for asking, man. I just want to let you know that's why I was late.
No, I know, and you don't have to worry about it.
But yeah,
I got plenty of things to do here, Corey. Don't you worry.
Man, you know what we'll do next week?
What should we do?
Well, of course, we'll do more email, but we're running a little long right now, so I don't want, because this will open up a whole new, show. Let me just say, I'll remember it for next week. And it'll be old news, but I want to talk about it. MDS, one of our members, wrote a really good blog about James Earl Jones. Mm-hmm. I think I was in New York when this came up, so I didn't have a chance to put it up. Mm-hmm. But it's really cool about him winning his first SAG award, which he should have won a long time. Yeah, Jesus. Finally, yeah.
It's amazing to find out people who've never won shit are.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, you look it up and you're like, wow, he's never won anything before.
Which would have been my speech, when I got up there. You motherfuckers, it's about time I won this shit.
It's about time, son of a bitches.
Exactly. You fuckers finally give me this when I'm about to die, you mother.
Notice some real talent.
I'm God. Fuck Morgan Freeman, I'm God.
I'm Batman.
That's what they should have had. You know what? That's what they should have had happen. They should have had Christian Bale put on the mask and like with Darth Vader, all of a sudden he's talking like James Earl Jones.
Hey, I'd buy that.
I'm Batman. Why am I turning to Walter Cronkite all of a sudden?
Well, the drugs.
But hey, people, go online and look up. I used this in a video a while back, but go online and look up this YouTube video of James Earl Jones on Sesame Street, reading the alphabet and counting.
I remember. Okay, I've seen that. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, let me see. I got it.
Put it on.
I got it right here. I mean, when that dude fucking reads the alphabet, every school system needs to have a James Earl Jones because everybody would learn with him talking. You will listen to me. Okay, shit, you're right. But they got his ass here. I'm gonna have to unplug this and see if I can get down to it. But
and I'm sure once we put this up, we'll if I catch it, I'll try to throw the video up.
But people gonna throw it up there.
Yeah, they're gonna throw it up anyway.
But they got it, and it's James Earl Jones. He's young. Like everybody's used to seeing that nappy head, gray hair named James Earl Jones.
Corey's grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. My dad. What are you talking about? That's the way my dad should have told me. Get me a hamburger.
Now, Cole.
Cheese, tater tots.
And you leave, and the nurse tells the nurse, "I have you now."
I know you told the Rebel Alliance my location, and they stopped my hamburger from coming to me. But no, let me see here. I'm gonna stop this, but I'm gonna play this for a little bit. I mean, because if I think they didn't let him on Sesame Street anymore because he was scaring people.
Fuck yeah, he was Darth Vader back then. Are you kidding me?
B, motherfucking C. All right, let's listen to this. Hold on, let me stop this. Stop it. Where is it? Stop. All right, hold on. I'm far away from across the room. Let's see this shit here. A, B. And meanwhile, he looks like he's on drugs. Look at this.
He sounds like he's on drugs.
Look at him. He's like all dazed. D,
E, F. Looks like Al Qaeda has him. I'm expecting to see a gun on the corner of the screen, like pointed right at his head.
He's got a black turtleneck on, looking straight at the screen, and like that's his letter to read before Al Qaeda slices him up.
Yeah.
L. This is the alphabet. Just read it. M. N.
Oh, God. Why is he staring at me so intensely? Oh no! What happened during the O part?
Meanwhile, it looks like he's getting a blowjob or something while he's reading this.
Yeah, or he's concentrating on something. I'm going to end up like Scanners. My fucking head's going to explode looking at this guy.
T. Teeth all short.
But terrific. You, Corey. V for vagina.
W.
Damn, nice. Boy.
Oh shit! Oh no! We don't want to hit it.
Not again.
Get on out of here. What was it you said?
My favorite part is when he said B for big booty bitches.
I would love to hear that. Him as a pimp.
God.
B.
Yes.
A for your ass. Yeah. But no, that was the weirdest thing I saw, man. I forgot what I did a webcam on, but I looked up James Earl Jones. Mm-hmm. and those videos came up, and I was like, fuck, James Earl Jones was on, and he's wearing a black turtleneck, and he's got a bald head, and he looks, I mean, he's like a good looking guy, man, back then. Yeah, he's like, I don't know how old he was. Like, he was like 22 or some shit.
Oh, there's plenty of those James Earl Jones videos. I mean, you look up, there's one for Darth Vader where he's spouting out old lines. Somebody synced in
I saw that.
One of his old films, to Darth Vader. And it's fucking hilarious.
I saw that. No,
I wish I could remember the movie he was.
Now you get your black ass in there and keep quiet and shut up.
Exactly.
I saw that when he's talking to Princess Leia like that.
Yeah.
Now look here, little mama. You get your black ass in there and be quiet. Shit, Jesus.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you gotta look up these old things. But man, this dude is good, has a great body of work. We won't even go into it right now. Right. Look at his 1971 film, The Great White Hope, and you'll see how great of an actor this guy. You see like the strong, really imposing but great James Earl Jones in that movie. He's a boxer in that film. I mean, just I don't want to go into it. Just because.
And of course, don't forget about the classic Conan. Come on, he's badass in that movie.
No, I would not count that. I won't.
I loved it when he turned into a snake, Corey.
And did the snake talk like that too? Sis, hiss. But all right. So anyway, that's our show, everybody.
Yeah, that's it.
We read a lot of email tonight.
It's our first new show.
Yeah, you and I, man. The first official email show. What do you think?
Email. We're gonna have to change that name.
What email with Corey and co-host? You know,
I don't know. We'll figure out something cool.
Man, we got to figure this out.
We got to get email out of there
because on this show it's gonna be a couple of cold ones with Corey and co-host.
Oh no!
I don't know what name we got, man.
We'll think of something really cool. Hey,
I don't want to put a name up there until we actually have something cool.
Exactly. No, exactly. I'm down.
I'm just gonna put email with Corey and co-host.
Call me crazy, but. I'll even let some of our fans think of some crazy shit.
The Don gave us some. I don't know if you know the Don, but the Don, that's a good user on there. Yeah, you people on the comment section, give us some suggestions.
Exactly. See,
based on what you heard, we're
going to include you in on this craziness. We're going to let you do our job. No, what am I trying to say? You do our job for us. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you got any suggestions, please let us know based on what you heard.
Yes.
Until then, I guess we'll see you next week.
See you, kids.
All right. Good evening.
Get the hell out of here.